Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Assassin's Creed 2. Let's continue. I actually want to move rather fast through this game. It's almost certainly never going to be a case where I could move too fast through it. There's enough going on here. These guys in black are looking for me, so I want to still be careful around them. But obviously, as you just saw, they are not very smart, since all I had to really do was jump in a hay bale right next to it. So that was a corner piece that is new, I believe, to Assassin's Creed 2. There will be points where you grab a corner piece and do a 90-degree turn. So it turns out the Uplay overlay only works half the time. So at the beginning of the first recording, which I'm sorry it took so long to just get set up, I showed myself and no one else the stuff you can purchase with U-points as far as DLC. I doubt I would really bother to get the Altair outfit. That seems like probably a waste. I will almost certainly have to use Uplay again. There's this guy with the brush. There was an achievement on 360, I think, for knocking down a bunch of people with the brushes. He must be late. And she must be beautiful. They are commenting on the fact that I'm running around like crazy. We have the invisible wall here. Unlike before, though, it is not an actual wall. I can walk in it and just desynchronize and die, which is not really preferable. If you're going to force me into an area, you might as well actually force me into the area. There's no... Well, maybe there's a reason. I guess it kind of matters if you have fast travel or not. We did have fast travel in the first game, at least to the Assassin's Bureau and a few other places, the outer regions of the cities. Yeah. So unless we've lost that ability, which wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one team working on Assassin's Creed 1, one team working on Assassin's Creed 2. That would certainly explain why there's several systems in Assassin's Creed 2 that aren't in the first one, but also just the extra time and more development ability would explain that as well. More resources to develop. Another cell. So we're taking the time to map everything. Here I can do the gentle push. Here's your scholars who you would stand in the middle here and attempt to hide. We don't have that ability yet, but that's much like the scholars in the first game. Although there are two types of scholars, one that carry books and one that you can hide in the groups of. It's probably a little bit smoother an experience, I would say, than the first game, jumping around and trying to get to points. You'll notice, if we come down here, this broken piece is very often repeated, and it doesn't look natural after a while, because how many buildings are going to have the exact same broken piece at an angle there? Windows and pieces of the building, you don't mentally recognize them as being repetitive, because it is typical that even in modern architecture things are repeated quite often. They have a very uniform look. So that's 7 of 73.
Anyone seen my assistant? He was right here.
So the contextual camera, I think that's the left bump. There we go. So there's two things here. There is a fast travel station here. Interesting. So you can't actually fast travel by just setting a place and moving. Interesting. There's a codex here, which we don't have a weapon for, and a race here, and the story here. And I think it is time to move the story forward. The worst case scenario, which would be really silly, but the game has already kind of done it once. The worst case scenario would be we would leave this area completely. There would be nothing in it. Now, here's a chest we can loot for money. There is, I believe, a set number of these. But it didn't give me any indication that that was the case. So maybe those things refill after a while? I don't believe that's the case. I believe there's a set number of chests, but you have the ability to eventually purchase... something was sparkling when I was down there. Yeah. Interesting. Wonder where that sparkling sound is coming from. After you get a certain amount of money, you start having the ability to invest in shops. Then you have to actually walk to the shop to pick up any currency there from that shop and then put it in the bank, because there's a maximum amount of actual money you can have on your person. It's a very strange system. It's a lot of busy work for not a huge reason to do it, but it eventually gets you so much money you can buy everything you could possibly want. So the system works, even if it is kind of ridiculous. We're not seeing any flags, we're not seeing any other collectibles. There we go. And here's a typical problem of the areas they generate. It's like, now how do I get down without killing myself? So I jumped down. I don't really hurt myself, but I missed this. If they eliminated half the fights from Assassin's Creed 1 and put in this kind of looting, that's probably a better way to do things. Scared her. But I think maybe they did both. They just added and didn't take anything away. Giovanni Auditore. Let's speak to him.
Good morning, Father.
Come with me.
Something wrong?
Do you think me blind and deaf?
Now, cutscenes used to have these glitches
last night,
that you would hit a button to get an alternate view.
Your behavior is unacceptable.
I don't think this game has that. At least we haven't seen it yet.
It reminds me of myself when I was your age. I assume these misadventures won't interfere with your work today.
No, Padre. Avete la mia parola.
I've prepared some documents here for Lorenzo di Medici to review. I need them delivered to him.
With haste, Father.
Return to me when it's done.
PAPERBOY, accept or decline. What happens if I decline? Is it just game over right then? Press the pause access to Animus database. Select there from the database documents and letters. It says to do this, but I don't see a real reason why I'd want to. So, from Giovanni
Al
Auditore.
magnifico Lorenzo di Medici, mio protettore e amico. I have done as requested and completed my investigation into the Milano incident. I can confirm for you that it extends far beyond dissatisfaction with Duca Galeazzo Sforza's rule. It is my belief that other parties, desirous of far greater gains, manipulated events in such a way as to achieve their goals without being revealed themselves. Lampugnani, Olgiati, and Visconti are guilty of the crime, to be sure. And they have met fitting ends for their betrayal. But several other noble families are implicated as well, our own Francesco de' Pazzi among them. Their cause and motive is not yet clear to me, but initial findings indicate a plan, the scope of which is sure to disturb you. Best we continue this conversation in person, as I am hesitant to put my suspicion to paper. Reply with a place and time, and I will meet you there. I have also ordered Francesco be held by the Gonfaloniere until we can clear up this matter. Yours in confidence, Giovanni.
So, that's actual, like, probably really important information to be hidden down here. So the truth here is what you get if you get all the collectibles. And I am very hesitant to try and get all of that. These other things, however, like, they're not going to speak these out. That was like a one-time thing. Now, there is a indicator on these positions I've seen. There's 5, like, things in eagle vision to find. And we'll have to come and deal with that later. Nothing else is going to be spoken out. In case you forget who people are, which is very possible, it's helpful. But this database just gets crazy. It gets really, really crazy really fast. So this is where I live. So I'll just steal from myself. I do need a pretty good amount of money. Interesting statue there. It says auditory. To buy some upgrades and things, that is a pretty expensive thing. Hold B while running to shove people. I don't think that would be too much of a problem. I could play in this mode, but it's so dark. If I was gonna play in this mode, let's just play around here with the options. If I was to do that and then turn up the brightness like to 10, even at 10 it's still very, very dark. Much like every other scan mode in every other game, it has completely ruins the graphics when you play a game like this in this mode. Also, I cannot see the map in this mode, so I don't know where I'm supposed to be going, which then leaves you using audio cues when you're climbing certain buildings, or more likely using a walkthrough to access where those special truth location things are. Here, I'm gonna go over here to these birds. And here he is.
Ah, Ezio, ben trovato. How are you? Come sempre. I have a letter for Messer Lorenzo.
I really wish if you chose English
see that
it
you
was
received it when you
100%
returned.
English.
Returns?
They've gone to Villa Careggi, I'm afraid, and not expected back for at least another day.
I'll let my father know.
If, for instance, well, this is probably a mature rated game to begin with, so you should be an adult. But I could see plenty of adults not wanting to have to read subtitles, and also the subtitles aren't on by default, so they wouldn't see the translations for half of these little bits of pidgin Italian that they're throwing in here. I don't know if that's the right term. That's there's certainly, though, in my opinion, some percentage of players that when they say they want English actually want English. Even if that's not the default option, there should be an English only option. Of course, I could change it completely to Italian, and we could play with that and show just how much extra work that would take. So it's actually kind of hard to get down some of these buildings when you come in like this. Right. There's a brother. Let's come over here and play with the options again. Graphics. Controls. General. Interesting. You get all these options to change things, but you can't change it to Italian. That is the problem having two menu systems. It's so bad. It really is so awful.
Keep up the good work.
Bischero.
You worry too much, Giovanni. Francesco Di Pazzi's in prison. The threat is ended.
Sure it is. So this highlighting of the door, while it looks cool and all, is a pretty obnoxious flashing too. But obviously that's the next thing I'm supposed to do. I do have this fear that we're going to miss out on some stuff, but it's not warranted. You're almost certainly always going to have the ability to do the codex pages. But the race is missing now. So if there was anything from that race, which there probably wasn't, you probably would have just gotten gold. That opportunity's out the window. Oh, other button.
Hello, son. You remember my friend Uber?
Good morning, Gonfaloniere Alberti.
To you as well, young man.
I trust you delivered the message.
Si, padre. But it seems
The
Lorenzo
animation
is out of town.
bugs never got fixed
I
in the
did not
Assassin's Creed
anticipate these.
series.
What does it matter? So
They've
you
had
wait another day or two.
Years
Listen,
and years
your
to
mother
fix
and
them, and they
sister
never
have
get
been
them to
looking
work.
for you. I'll need you again in a little while, but for now, see if you can't help them.
Are you sure?
Yes, now if you'll excuse us.
Good to see you, Ezio.
So I just walked in there to see a cutscene. And a couple people wanted a couple of assignments. Claudia. Courier assignments available. The third child. So your sister. That's not what I was looking for though. I was trying to bring up the map. The environmental changing of things. Here's the races back now. That makes things even more difficult. Speak.
Hey, Claudia. How are you?
Bene.
You shouldn't keep things from me.
It's Duccio.
What of him?
I think he's been unfaithful.
Who told you this?
The other girls. I thought they were my friends.
Harpies. You're better off without them.
I loved him.
No, Claudia. You only thought you did.
He should suffer for what he's done.
Wait here. I'll go have a word with him.
So this is an assassin family, obviously. Find and punish Duccio. So, when you accept a mission, things change. Every mission is a different instance on top of itself. Here's a art shop. There was an achievement for buying art. Let's see, but we can't buy any of them right now. We can't have her buy treasure maps. And the mouse gets put right back on the screen for no reason.
Thank you. Do come again.
The mouse should not show up at all. Remember, I don't have any weapons yet, so stealing a piece of a treasure, need to be pretty careful about that. Was that the only treasure? Or did I get a map of the entire area? Ah, I got a map of the entire area. So unlike the flags in Assassin's Creed 1, you have a much better chance of finding everything. You don't have to go print off a map from a walkthrough. You don't have to manually mark everything on said print-off map, which is exactly how I did it when I played Assassin's Creed 1. And I am still not certain I got every single flag. There is some more height things, because you'll often find these little hanging areas that require you to jump down. And then I also have to balance my time. Is it worth doing these things? Or am I just being obsessive? If you're not going for 100% collectability of all the collectibles, which is a good idea considering this is all you play and there are no Steam achievements, you're better off ignoring all this stuff. Don't worry, by the time you get to Assassin's Creed 4, 5, or 6, there will be achievements and you'll have plenty of time to have your fill of collecting things with the Assassin's Creed series. It's pretty much non-stop. Let's see, is there a way down? No. Here we go. If you can see a hay bale or a leaf bale in this case, you can usually jump down to it.
Duccio! It's beautiful!
Nothing but the best for you, amore mio.
But what of Claudia? I thought you'd been promised to her.
Father said I could do much better than an auditore.
Ah! Birbante! Come, let us walk a bit.
What? I had something else in mind.
Oh, Duccio.
This scene is proving once again they don't know how to animate fatter characters, right?
Ezio, my friend.
You insult my sister, parading around with his puttana.
What are you talking about?
I saw the gift you gave her, or the things you said.
Maybe your sister shouldn't be so stingy with her virtù.
You broke her heart.
Ha! And now I'm going to break your face.
He's going to throw the first
auditores all
punch.
talk big, but when it comes time for action, ha!
You'll regret ever opening your mouth.
I could have taught your sister a great many things. She's like basta, mi arrendo.
Stay away from my sister.
So he's gonna get in a second he's going to decide to walk away like nothing happened. Boy, beat up and Vince unlocked. So that memory is synced. So as soon as I finish that instance, I'm back into the overworld, which looks like the same as the other one, but it actually isn't. Anytime you start a mission, it's a slightly different variation on what was here before. Let's see if we can take this race. I suppose I could have interacted in that cutscene again. It seems like instead of giving us glitches in cutscenes, like the first game, it's giving us interaction prompts. It's all the same concept. It's to allow them to feel free about making really longer cutscenes while not actually boring the players, which I'm sure is some of the false feedback you would get from a video game like tester. They'll say, I'm bored in this cutscene, I want to do something, and people usually shouldn't listen to it.
I can outrun anyone in this distretto. I hear you the best. Prove it.
And then we sit here and watch a loading screen. There's no reason why there should be any loading screen. That is 100% the engine's fault, not mine. I have an SSD, I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. There's literally no excuse for there to be any loading. Going the wrong direction. Getting chased. Why they put these things in the way so you run into them, I don't know. But they tend to do it a lot. You can hop on these and run. 45 seconds. Maybe it, again, is just there so that the game isn't too smooth. But that seems like a really ridiculous way to make your game. It's like people are moving around too fast. Let's eliminate their ability to move around fast by putting in obstacles. Nope. Where? I have 11 seconds. I don't know if I have enough time. Where's the next one? 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And it messed up. Now, during this time frame, the heavier a person was, generally the healthier they were thought. And so it was this beauty ideal, particularly considering things like food scarcity. And I made the same mistake again. There's 14 gates. And I am in the wrong place. It's almost certainly not going to make this race. Is that because I lack skill? Probably that's some of it. Is it because I don't know where I'm going? Yeah, that's some of it too. There really wouldn't have been a problem for them to have given me all of the checkpoints, or at least the next checkpoint in the race. The point after the point. Very inconveniently placed the marker there. Alright, if I make it this time, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, messed it up again. And it's just gonna reset you. I suppose there might be a way to avoid this or exit this without just it resetting. Otherwise you are actually stuck here. Anytime he grabs, there's this slight stall. Anytime he jumps, there's a slight stall. That jump never seems to work. That again slows me down. See, this game feels like it when you have races like this, like there might be some speedrun aspect to this game, but not really. There's far too many collectibles, and I've lost again. There's no way up. No way up in time. And what if I want to just exit the race? Can I hit start? I can abort memory, and that's it. And I think that's what that is. So, attempt number 4 failed.
Hold on. That one's very familiar.
This will be my last try, and then I'll abort the memory. There's a lot of positions here you could fail at, and it has nothing to do with, like, well, I bet later on you do have a faster run speed, you do have a further jump, and some of the things might be improved a little bit. So I'm trying my very best here and having not much more luck. That's it. Again, the race is its own separate instance, so it has to load everything back in to the normal overworld. Didn't seem like it wanted to load until I walked. Moving on then. So I could go get this codex page if I wanted, or I could run around and do all kinds of things. Could I fast travel? No. So I just have to run.
Another, I've seen him before.
Even with the pressure off, it seems a little easier. And perhaps far too early in the game, I've already really lost interest in getting the treasures. We'll have to see. I need the story to actually move ahead, and it actually hasn't. We don't have our weapon. Where is Ezio? Let's talk to this guy.
What are you doing out here, Petruccio? You should be in bed.
I want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
If I get them for you, will you go back inside?
Yes, I promise.
So, Petruccio is the younger kid, younger brother. And this is probably the only time you actually have to collect the feathers, which are the real collectibles, and you really don't get anything unless you get all 100 of them. Is it an incredibly difficult process? Well, depends on who's behind the controller for some of that. I'm not sure. It depends on whether the map points them out to me or not. This one is obviously a lot easier than what it's going to be. And then return the feathers to him. It doesn't seem like our health is refilling anymore. Ah, because it doesn't. In fact, I know it doesn't. If I hit right on the D-pad here, it uses the health vial that I purchased earlier. So the game has significantly changed from the first game. You can no longer just nonchalantly take fall damage. Every fall damage is going to be important. Which then asks the question, why in the game trailer first cutscene, or no, game trailer preview scene, was Ezio able to jump on the ground and break the ground? He knocks on his own door, which is very weird.
Brother.
You still haven't told me why you want these.
I will. In time.
I think, if I'm remembering correctly, if you get all of them, like all 100 of them throughout the entire game, you get a different outfit, and that's it. Feathers can be collected throughout the world. Let's look on the map though and see if we can see them. Not right now. I think what you would have to do is come over here and buy a feather map. Treasure maps, paintings.
Perhaps another time. Air for all.
Maybe you can't even find the map for the feathers. That might be the case. If that is the case, then you're right back to the same setup you had in the first game of having to print out a map and then manually mark off the map. We also have a beat 'em up event and a courier assignment event, which would be repeats of the other things we've done. But it seems a little bit different. It seems like the black background things might be a little bit more important than the race itself, maybe? Maybe not. Let's move the story forward though. That's what we're trying to do. And it's been 40 minutes and we still don't have our blade. It's incredibly slow to start this game.
Buongiorno, Ezio.
Buongiorno a voi, madre. Come state?
Sto bene. And you? Still recovering from last night?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course not. Anyway, I have an errand to run. I'd like you to join me.
Con piacere.
Come, it's not far from here.
Stupid mouse. Why do you keep moving? Help Maria with her errand.
I know about your fight with Vieri.
What fight?
Per piacere. Let's not play this game.
He spoke ill of us. I could not allow him to continue.
I'm sure he's having a hard time dealing with the accusations against his father. Francesco di Pazzi's many things, and none of them good. But even I never suspected he'd be capable of murder.
What will happen to him?
I imagine there will be a trial.
Will father speak at it?
He'll have to. He's the one with the evidence.
Still, I wish there was another way.
You've nothing to fear. Everyone wants justice done. It is an unfortunate state of affairs, but it will pass.
Notice how these guys just get next to you and you have to gentle push them out of the way? Or you bump into them, you can do that, but they'll just block your way. Before, you would bump into them in the first game and they would actually yell at you and it would cause a disturbance. Now they just block your way physically like a wall.
Here we are. Hello, Leonardo.
Madonna Maria.
This is weird.
My son, Ezio.
Molto onorato.
It's Leonardo da Vinci.
Let me go and fetch the paintings. I'll be right back.
There was no famous like historical feature in the first game.
Immagino.
Self-expression is vital to understanding and enjoying life.
I guess King Richard.
You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
Back to your house then.
Si. Ezio, help Leonardo, will you?
So I'm just carrying these things after my mother said something pretty gross.
He's been working for his father.
Ah, you're to be a banker.
For now. And you, art was it?
Truth be told, it's been difficult for me to settle. Painting is nice, but I often feel like my work lacks, I don't know, a purpose. Does that make sense? I'd rather contribute more practically, more directly. Architecture, perhaps, or anatomy. I'm not content merely to capture the world. I want to change it.
Oh, Leonardo. I have no doubt you'll go on to do great things.
Vi ringrazio, Madonna.
So this is before he invented much of anything. So the game wants me to lead the way, which is incredibly odd for video games. I'm so used to following other people. Me leading the way and then hearing them talk in the background is very strange. It does this weird surround sound effect in my headphones. And I suppose I'm here just trying not to drop his artwork. But it's hardly like anybody's going to bump into me and I'm going to drop it. So this is kind of a pointless exercise. Really pointless. Come on, game, start. Took 30 minutes to get through the prologue. It's taken us 45 minutes to get to this point. And we still haven't really started the game.
From your other duties.
It was nice to meet you, Ezio. I hope our paths cross again.
Anch'io.
Now, the whole point of this is supposed to be that I am eventually going to learn to be an assassin, and thus Desmond in the present time will learn to be an assassin also. Oops. I just accidentally pickpocketed that guy. I did not mean to do that. Let's talk to this guy. Let's do the courier mission and the beat 'em up mission.
Get this to its destination fast. Really fast. I'll pay you well.
Deliver the 2 letters to guarded recipients. Hopefully I've chosen the right path. So I have 4 minutes to get this to one of them. Right now it would be a real mistake to sit there and try and get other collectibles while you're doing this quest, even though they are in the game. Still, you could distract yourself in the middle of a timed event that way, but it really feels like an imbalance in just game direction. That we're gonna have a lot of sequences like this where time is a factor, and then you're going to have a lot of sequences where time is the opposite of a factor. Time is intentionally being wasted via massive amounts of treasure chests and things to find. And we are in the smallest area, at least right now. We're in the first area. I guess that would be the more accurate thing to say. This is actually probably not the smallest area in the game. I'm hoping I can just fall down here and not make any noise.
Funny clothes. Must be a friend.
Since I'm here, I might as well take that opportunity. So that's the quest done. Now I need to run back to this beat 'em up event. I guess we'll try that. Not too difficult, but I could see how I could have screwed that up if I got caught or got in a fight. It's very strange to spend your first 2 hours of gameplay without any ability in an Assassin's Creed game. And this really needed to be the story of the first game. The training, learning to be an assassin should have been the first game, definitely. I can already feel that it has a better storyline or more fun storyline.
That faithless husband of mine is cheating. I know it, as do all the neighbors. Please teach him a lesson for me.
I've turned into the vigilante of scorned women.
Traditional remedies and the wisdom of the Arabics. Idiot, I know.
I don't want to get seen by that guy, but in the act of attempting not to be seen by the guy, I caused a disturbance. So, like, this building, I bet, does have one of the secret things on it. If I was to guess. But if it does, I don't see it. And if I was gonna look for all the secret patterns, I'm looking all around this building to see if maybe I could find one. Nope, I don't see it. I thought there might be a secret symbols. The symbols are weird. In this game, you can usually only see them from one angle, usually high up, and from that point you crawl into the symbols and do something really weird. It's like a puzzle thing. So this time so punch is without the right trigger. If he's gonna start attacking me, then that's with the I would counter.
She wins. I give up. That the bitch. I mean, wonderful wife of mine. I'll go home.
Where's my subtitles? Why did the subtitles turn off right there? Let's see, and I just hear that treasure chest, but I just don't see it. It must... It's not here unless the game is bugged. It's somewhere here. Maybe the game is bugged. Why would I not believe this game is bugged? We've already seen bugs in animation things. So either it's there or it's down here. Ah, it's down here. A great example of how the map's not even going to be that useful. Oops. I could buy some more small health supplies from him, but I'm eventually just gonna loot all that stuff to recover health. Let's move forward. And getting into my own house is even a difficult process.
Watch out! Be careful, sir. You might have caused worse injury.
There he's yelling at me for knocking over his items. Have to walk all the way around here. It's a very poorly designed, like, area. It should have, like, this door and this door should lead outward to the rest of the street. Why does he knock
Ezio,
on his own door?
Come in, son. I need these packages delivered to associates of mine in the city. I also need you to retrieve a message for me from a pigeon coop not too far from here.
Va bene. I'll get it done.
Come back here when you're finished. There are some things we need to discuss. And please, my son, stay out of trouble.
So, I think he is actually underemphasized stay out of trouble in this case, knowing where the story is going. I think he probably should have told a lot more information if the story happens the way I think it's going to happen. So, first thing when you have a mission, it probably is worth your effort to just look on the map and mark the actual right one to go to, because you never know distance from that mini-map. It just doesn't tell you, are you one street over or are you half the map over? Seems like you can fall quite a distance without getting hurt. Probably a lot more than Altair.
You Giovanni's kid?
No, idiota. He just happens to look exactly like the man.
Give it here. Don't worry, boy. We're not contagious. At least I'm not.
So, what in the world is my father dealing with, well, that is your standard thief there, and courtesans. Courtesan, by the way, or prostitutes. So why is he dealing with that ilk? It's kind of strange he didn't say anything there. You would think he would, like, question it just to make sure the thief wasn't robbing him. Ah, here's a feather. We can hear it, but it's not on the map. Feathers collected 1 of 100. And so it would begin, and sadly, no, I'm not gonna. That was the #1 collectible thing in this game, and it is not worth the effort. Particularly on PC. Even on 360, getting all those achievements are not worth it. I am still quite obsessed about getting achievements for some silly reason. They're a waste of time, and they actually lead to bad video game design, because then you waste your design time and your effort
from
Giovanni Auditore?
from adding better elements.
No. Why would I be followed?
Give me the package. Tell your father that they're moving tonight. He should as well.
Who's moving? What's going on here? Wait, come back. Explain yourself.
So, yeah, that's the conversation he should have had the first time. And so that's a courier, I believe. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a feather like on top of this statue. Doesn't look like there is one though. Have to be careful where I jump. We'll just take the ladder down. We have a distance indicator telling me I'm actually getting further away. Okay. So I guess back up the ladder. If you walk up the ladder, that looks like a socially acceptable thing to do, so people won't get as upset. But frankly, that whole upsetting the normal folk system of the first game is kind of thrown out of the window. Ah, here's the pigeon coop. Yeah, I forgot. That's what he said. You can pretty much do whatever you want, and you're fine in this game, and all future Assassin's Creed game. Hold this for alternate cam angles. Alright. I'm getting gold as we do these quests. Chests earn money to return their locations. Buy maps. I wonder if we're going to get tips throughout the entire game. Probably not. Eventually this game will stop tutorializing things and stop adding more gameplay elements that really have nothing to do with the story. Eventually we'll get to that point. Actually, we're not too far away if my memory serves me right. But this is an estimated 35-hour game if you play as a completionist, and 2 of it has now been spent just setting up to this point.
Father? Federico!
Ezio! I'm sorry, I'm so sorry!
What happened? Where is everyone?
They took your father and brothers to the Palazzo della Signoria, to prison.
And my mother, my sister?
Ezio.
Claudia. Are you alright?
Yes, but Mother... She's in shock. When she resisted...
It's not safe here. Is there some place you can take them?
Yes, to my sisters.
Good, do that. In the meantime, I'll go see my father.
Be careful, Messer Ezio. The guards were looking for you as well.
So, jailbird. Reach Giovanni's cell at the top of the Plaza del Signora and find out why he's been imprisoned. So, we went from being citizens who were going to testify against the crimes of others to being criminals ourselves, and our notoriety is now very high, and the people are trying to arrest me on site, so it's not like I'm going to catch their attention. As soon as they see me, they're going to start attacking. And I need to run to this area over here. And that's what I'm going to do in the next recording. 2 hours. 2 hours we've played this game. And we still don't have the hidden blade. We still don't know anything about assassins. Ezio doesn't even know a single thing about assassins right now. He's never even heard the name. And what have we really done? We've opened some chests, we've done some tutorialized missions, we've fetched a few things. There's so much of this in the game that it is very front-loaded. We should have... It's just bad game design, really. It really is. We should be right into the action, and we aren't. We're not anywhere close to the action yet. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.